We're processing that goat meat in this video. Welcome back. My name is Karen, and my husband Dan and I are trying to become as self-sufficient as possible before we retire. I am 58, Dan is 61, and so we are relearning some old skills, and we're also learning some new things so that we don't have to rely on stores and other entities to provide for all of our needs. If that sort of thing interests you, please consider subscribing to our channel, hitting that like button, and leave us a comment. In our last video, we showed you how Dan was processing a goat. We did skinning and gutting of the goat last video, and I will link to that at the end if you didn't see that one. And in this video, we're going to focus on cutting up that goat meat and vacuum sealing it for our freezer. Before we get into that, real quick, the next video is going to be on using some of that older chicken meat. They are a couple years old when we butcher, and that meat is tough. I'm going to share with you one of the ways that you can use that tough meat from older birds. Now let's get into the video.
Lost the heart. Okay. I'm separating muscle groups. We're doing the rear. Okay. Finding this ball socket right here. It's obvious I'm not a surgeon. Look at that meat.
So what part is that?
That would be the back strap.
Backbone?
Yeah. Or not the backbone, but the part of the backbone, the lower part.
Okay.
That'll make some good stew right there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cut the skirts off. That right there is going to be some really, really good meat right there. That's the back straps, the loin. Okay. Let's see.
Now what are you tackling?
I'm going to be working on removing the shoulder.
One shoulder?
One shoulder.
Another shoulder.
Another shoulder. Okay. We'll have to do some good trimming to get some of these veins, a lot of that silver skin and stuff off, but for right now, it is so tender. I don't know if you can tell, but just tender meat. Okay, now
So now are you removing
the loin.
yeah, the loin?
Do you remember when we butchered the deer?
Yeah.
The loin, that's the good stuff. Okay.
So there's two loins.
See how we have this channel? That's where that back strap runs.
Okay.
And I'm just following the bone into that channel.
So you get the loin.
Yeah. Now, in here, this is another type of loin, and this is super tender.
Okay.
We'll get that out later.
So is this where you would normally use like a boning knife? Is that the purpose of the boning knife?
Well, yeah, it's flexible, and I could be using that one. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As soon as I'm going to trim this off right here. Let's see how this does.
Okay. So that's another soup bone
Yep.
type thing.
Look at all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good meat on there for soup. Okay.
And that's inside of the rib cage. Kind of like the diaphragm muscle.
So where are the chops like that guy was talking about?
Okay, so basically I cut a lot of that, what would be the chops, out in the loins, because this right here and that would have been that. You're thinking that you would have liked for me to have done that differently. I can hear that in your voice.
Maybe just one side. Next time, we have 2 goats left, right?
Yeah.
So now we're cleaning up this piece.
Yeah. I want to get to where I can get this kind of the neck area.
Got a nice big pile of meat going. The jugular.
Yeah. There's some nice meat there. See that?
See what?
That neck.
Yeah.
Talk about a roast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trying to get between the vertebrae.
Okay.
I'm gonna basically cut along this backbone and cut the ribs loose.
Okay, so that's a rack of ribs.
It's a rack of ribs. Really, really tender meat right there. But I think we're gonna leave that on there.
Okay.
That'll make a nice stew.
So now we've rinsed all of the meat, and we're going to go ahead and rinse these last few parts.
I'm gonna separate the legs, parts of the legs, and I think pretty much we're gonna leave everything pretty much the way it is.
Well, I'm thinking there's a lot of bone there, and there's compared to the meat. So we might as well do some smoked goat ribs at some point, and we'll use both racks.
Okay, just leave them all together then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, this is the front shoulder. So we got the front arm and shoulder. Do you want to leave this all together, or do you want me to separate anything?
Okay, so like, what is the cut of meat that you would get? Is that considered a shoulder roast or what?
Yeah.
I would say separate the leg and the shoulder for packaging.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to package that separately for possible ground or like a goat sausage or something like that. Is this silver skin?
No.
All of this?
No.
What is that?
That's just the encasement of the muscle.
Okay. I can always put pork fat
Yes.
with this to make sausage or something like that too.
See, that's definitely silver skin. You can tell that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that was just fat.
Is it attached pretty well, or can you nick it and pull it?
No, you can. It's attached to the muscle.
But it doesn't come off very easily. Is
No.
what I'm saying. Okay.
Now, this looks like fat, but this is tough.
Okay.
So we don't want that in.
Yeah, take that out. The nice thing about butchering your own is you can cut it any way you want, really.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have standard cuts of meat or anything like that. Now you're just cleaning up a rack of ribs.
Rack of ribs, yeah.
We're going to put these on the smoker.
Yep. That's the skirts.
So the skirts, we can do like fajita type meat or something like that with.
Yep. And we'll just roll these up just like this. Put that one out there. I'm going to cut these loins up into steaks.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to trim this up right here first. That can go over here in the stew meat. And then I'm thinking about that size right there.
Okay.
Just kind of guessing at it. Oh, that's so tender.
I gotta leave room to tuck that in. And I'm gonna write on it.
You're going to want two of them. Now, do you seal it from there?
It's already sealed. It vacuums and seals it.
Ah.
So, got a nice vacuum seal. Perfect for the freezer. After all was said and done, we got about 25 to 30 pounds of goat meat for our freezer. And I did take the loins and braised them in a Dutch oven, and they were delicious. I couldn't hardly tell the difference between goat and beef. Thanks for being here with us today, and I will be back this weekend with another update on how I'm doing on my weight loss journey, because if you don't have your health, being self-sufficient in retirement is not going to happen. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.